Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into a little bit of tech news this morning. Of course, we've had a fantastic show. We've been being treated to percussion on an entirely different level. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. And a little bit later in the show, I see Eitan Stern has just stepped in. We're going to be talking about the coronavirus.
Yes.
And he was saying that at least once a day, one of his clients contacts him. So you want to stick around for that. But we're going to delve into a little bit of tech news at the moment. And of course, it was inevitable that coronavirus, the ordeal, would have an impact on the tech industry, and with some of the biggest tech events of the year being postponed or cancelled outright already. And that's including the Game Developers Conference and Google's I/O conference. It's having a huge financial impact. You know, it's hitting the oil markets as well in a very big way. So the world's biggest exhibition company, Informa, who are responsible for organizing many of these events that have been shut down, have now reported that they have had to reschedule 45 large events and 70 smaller events. Now just imagine the knock-on effect, the speakers that have been booked, every element of the logistics involved in an event, and now you've got to push it out. So
and also financially, I'm sure it's...
Well, this is the thing, everything has a massive financial implication. So they've also had to completely cancel 13 events this year, just to write them off. The total monetary value of all of these events is, get this, 8.3 billion rand.
What?
Wow, and that's just in the event sector. Never mind the knock-on effect of kind of secondary spend for the people who are going to be staying in that area, all those sorts of implications. There's also talk that the Tokyo 2020 Olympics might be postponed as well, and that's very strong kind of indication that that is probably going to happen. So labs around the world are currently doing everything that they can to develop a vaccine for the virus. And one lab in the UK is actually offering people around 90,000 rand to get infected by the coronavirus so that they can test them to try and find the right antibodies. How crazy is that? Would you do it for 90 large?
No.
No?
I cannot put my life on the line for 90K.
Million?
A million rands. We can chat. We will talk. Just hit me up.
It ain't no joke, man. El Vivo, the company that runs the lab, is looking for volunteers to willingly be given 2 weaker strains of the virus and then to spend 2 weeks in quarantine while they are closely monitored by medical staff and given various vaccines. Other than that, they will have no direct contact with any people. This is just one of several labs that are working on vaccines at the moment, with some of them planning to start human testing in the next 2 months.
That's massive. So many of these big events being cancelled because of obviously the coronavirus outbreak globally. And I think it's quite serious. Like, this is the extent
but
to which it's
I mean,
serious.
there's so many different permutations. So the travel bans that have been put on, most companies have stopped international travel, and that the implications of fuel in planes that should have been flying, that have been grounded, just every little element of this kind of opens up another Pandora's box. So I think we are quite lucky that we haven't been affected in a huge way here, but it'll be interesting now that Corona has made landfall in South Africa, what that is going to mean. Are we going to start to see a similar sort of approach that we've seen in different African countries, the cancellation of sporting events? Are our footballers going to start doing the elbow bump at the beginning of a match? It's going to be interesting to see, but you can let us know. Continue to let us know. We've been focusing on personal hygiene as one way that you can stem the spread of any harmful germ or virus. You can let us know what you are doing in your own home to ramp up personal hygiene.